No, it's been a while since we've been live.
Yeah, it's been a long while.
It's just been a busy life, if you know what that is. Definitely been dealing a lot. So, how are y'all doing though? Hopefully
Yeah, I
everyone's
wanted
doing
to
good.
show you guys something real quick. A couple of our little duckies. Can you put the camera down just a little bit?
Oh man, she got me messing up.
I know.
Hold on.
Look, they're so sweet. Look. These are two of our Muscovies. We have 8.
Yes, 8.
These are our more chill ducks, these two. So that's why I chose them to show you guys how cute they are.
I know. They were actually our very first ducklings to hatch. Incubator wise. So it was a good experience for us. I mean, it was very intriguing. We wasn't sure if they were going to hatch or not. We didn't know what was going to happen. We had 15 eggs total, I think.
Yeah, we did.
And we had 8 hatch out. So
no, well, we started with 15, but I don't know, 5 of them were not viable.
Yep.
Like they weren't fertile or fertilized. Yeah. So we had a pretty good hatch out rate.
Yep.
They are so sweet. Oh my word.
I think it was hard too because while we were hatching them, they were in day progressions. So it was hard for us to try to keep the humidity level, plus trying to take out one that's been there for a little bit and trying to keep that environment there. So yeah. I think we really struggled with that. So I think we may have lost 2
so out
due
of
to
10, we lost 2.
Yep.
Yeah, that was really hard to hatch them out, like you said, with all of them being from different days.
Yep.
They are so sweet, guys. Oh my gosh, I love them. I love ducks. I didn't realize I would love ducks so much. I don't think we've ever just spoke on getting ducks very much.
Times.
We've mentioned the Muscovies for meat, but I mean, we didn't think it would be so soon.
Yep.
I'm so excited we did. I'm so excited we got ducks. They're so cute and sweet, and I love them.
Yeah, it was kind of I would almost say an impulse buy.
I wanted Muscovies, and we went to a trades day, and we ended up getting
Welsh Harlequin.
4 Welsh Harlequin ducks.
Yeah.
They are super sweet, beautiful coloring. They hatch out their own eggs. The reason why we got those 4 was because they didn't have the Muscovies I wanted.
Yep.
So I ended up getting 4 ducks. I was not leaving until we got ducks.
She wasn't. She was pretty determined.
So then eventually we ended up getting a mama duck in all 15 eggs.
Yep.
And so the ones that were viable were 10 of them.
Yep.
And 8 of them hatched out. So this is where we are. We have 8 ducklings. We don't know if they're drakes. How many drakes we have yet.
Yeah. I'm guessing 3.
Yeah, and then we have the 5 hens and 1 drake already as kind of going into the adult stages in our duck area.
Yep. What's up, Millie?
What do you need?
Are we allowed to watch Lollipop? Lala asked.
Well, I've never even heard of
Yeah,
that.
we've never watched
No,
that song.
if we've never watched it before, then no.
So.
But look, they're chill now.
But yeah, it's been an awesome experience. Like she said.
I'll go take them back now. I just wanted to show y'all how cute they are. Look at them. Super sweet. Say goodbye. Bye-byes.
But yeah, I think the hardest thing with the ducks has been the pond. Because we didn't really have... Because like she said, we were looking for Muscovies. And Muscovies, they don't have to have a pond. They don't have to have that accessible water. They need water, but not as much as normal ducks. So the pond that we had wasn't really set up for an actual duck that needs a pond. So we had to kind of dig out a makeshift pond. And as you know, we're in Texas, and we've been dealing with some major heat and pretty much drought conditions here. So we've been we have to fill up our pond every other day, trying to keep that water going there. Luckily, it's not a huge pond, so it doesn't take a lot of water, but we do have to fill it up every other day. So that's been a kind of a struggle. So hopefully in the next month, I'll be able to actually dig out a pond and put in the pond liner with the pump, so that way it can filter the water and get moving water, so it's not that nasty sitting stagnant gray water that's there. So that's kind of our next major project with the ducks, is that hey Rebecca, how you doing? It's hot and dry here too in Western Kentucky. Yeah, it's been pretty hot and dry everywhere from what I've seen. I mean, where we are, I'm facing east right now. Behind us is west. But if the last few days, oh man, there we go.
Sorry.
Last few days, I could look to the south of us and to the north of us, and I would see lightning all in the sky, all around us. But we would get maybe a little sprinkle here and there. We got a little bit of rain the other day, but just enough to wet the ground, I think. Like
it was nothing.
The pavement. It just wetted the pavement. That was it. It didn't soak nothing.
No.
It was just enough to make it more humid than anything.
I watered way more than what was happening in the rain the other day.
Yeah.
We desperately need rain.
Yeah.
Desperately. You told them we have like 200 gallons of water left in our rainwater harvesting system. What?
Yeah, probably about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe 300 at most, but yeah, it's going down
And
because
we
it hasn't
have
rained.
a little bit over 1,000 gallons in our rainwater harvesting system, so we are praying for rain. Good evening. How are you, Capone Cabin?
Yeah, I don't think it's rain. It hasn't actually rained here in probably almost a good month.
It's been a while, yeah.
And it doesn't look like we have rain in the forecast, at least in the next 10 to 14 days from what I've seen.
Yeah.
So we're definitely struggling right now with our rain situation.
Yeah.
And what's the temperature like there in Kentucky?
I've been watering every morning. Yeah, us too.
Yep.
I mean, and we have a heavy mulch, and we have pretty good soil. We still water every single morning.
Yep.
And some of the plants still look kind of just a little bit sad. They'll droop a little bit, and I'm just like, look, guys, I ain't got enough rainwater to be soaking you every single morning. So, I mean, we do just like a light watering.
Yes, we're in northeast Texas, outside of Dallas. Next week.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be hundreds and no rain, so.
Yeah. So hot today. Yes. Like I said, we've been looking at here where we are in our forecast. I think 7 out of the 10 days is supposed to reach 100 degrees. And that's not counting heat index.
Oh, wow. Her water bill was higher than her power bill. That's
Whoa,
terrible.
That is bad.
Our only water we're really using, like homestead-wise, is to fill up our rabbit waters, which is 2 buckets.
Yeah, so 10 gallons there.
Probably every 4 or 5 days?
Yeah, probably 3 to 4.
Every 3 to 4 days. And we do fill up their little duck pond just a little bit. It's not a huge pond. It's just a tiny little thing.
Yeah.
But that's really it. Thankfully.
And the chicken water.
Yeah, the chicken water. The rainwater harvesting system is covering our entire garden right now.
Yeah, for at least the next week.
For at least 1 more week. And then we're on to our regular water. And I hate doing that because our plants are so used to rainwater that when we use our municipal water, you can tell. You can see a difference. The leaves are not happy. Like, they're not, you can tell.
Yeah, the coloration changes. They start getting yellow.
It takes them time to adjust because they've been so used to rainwater, and I hate that. The fact that I can see the difference is really frustrating.
Yeah, I was not expecting to get this far, or not even this far in. Like, I don't think we've really hit summer yet here in Texas. Mm-hmm. We're still technically in the later part of spring. So yeah, it's been crazy for us to be running out of rainwater like we are right now. So I mean, I know, who is it? Where'd they go?
You clicked.
Oh, cancel.
Don't just scroll like that because you're gonna block people.
I wasn't trying to.
Who are you looking for?
Down. Oh yeah, Stringfield Ridge Farm. I was just wondering what the weather's like there in Kentucky.
Probably hot.
Probably.
Everywhere is hot right now, I feel like.
Yes, buddy?
Mommy. Mommy. You want popcorn?
No, you already had popcorn.
You almost had a full thing.
Yeah, no more popcorn.
Owie.
Modification.
This is all being done on purpose. I
You know,
don't
with the
know.
way things are going, I can't say yes and I can't say no.
Yeah, it's crazy. They already have so many different cities who
Around
they're
98, yep.
not allowed to water like past a certain amount. They're not allowed to just waste
Yeah.
water on their gardens and different things. They have
Yeah.
so many things because of the drought.
Yeah, it's getting a lot like, for what I heard California was like last
Really?
year, where they could only water like once a week or
Yeah.
something like that. I mean, how are you going to have your garden survive off of watering once a week when it's 90 plus degrees?
We have been pushing our rainwater harvesting video. Like, I've been pushing it. I'm like, and other videos, if you can't get the big IBC totes, get rain barrels, get something to collect water.
Yep.
You need to. That's a must. Before you even, if you have never gardened a day in your life, before you even start your garden, work on the soil by mulching, adding compost mulching, let it sit, and get a rainwater harvesting system up and running.
Yep.
Very important.
Yep.
Very, 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 very important. That's
Yes.
like 2 things you have to do.
Yeah, very important. We figured that out real quick, and then we've added to it and realized that now it's barely even enough for what we got going.
It's not raining. What?
Then you're going to have to play different games. There's nothing we can do.
No.
Can you go give some of this water to the ducklings? Thank you. Our children need us desperately when we're on live.
It's like if we're not in the house, oh
And
no.
He said hot and dry around 98 degrees.
So about here.
It's been kind of wet here. I think the last 2 years it's been a little more humid than normal.
Yeah, the humidity level's high.
Yeah, it's been a little bit more wet here.
But it's just been hot.
We got a pool this year, so that's good. So our children are not in the house constantly. Because I'm not going to force them to go outside in this heat. I just won't.
Yeah.
But now I don't have to force them anyway because we have a pool, so they're enjoying their time outside.
Yeah, they spend it probably a
A lot of
minimum of
time.
3 to 4 hours a day in the pool.
Right.
So they're loving that. You know, being a kid in Texas, a pool is a huge thing.
Yeah, it's a huge thing.
I grew up swimming in somewhat pools and then lakes and creeks and stuff like that, but
Right.
we don't have those around here. And I don't know if I would trust it anymore. So our kids got a pool.
Yeah, it's awesome. We're just trying to figure out the whole chemical thing. We didn't realize how difficult that is, especially when your pool is somewhat in a really good full sun. We didn't realize how hard it would be to manage the chlorine and all that stuff, the chemicals, because it's become a task. It really has.
And unfortunately, chemicals are costly.
Yeah, they are costly as well.
Let's whiten this out again. There it goes. Yeah, chemicals, man, it's just too expensive.
Yeah.
So I'm just doing what I can, making it to where it's not green. So,
Facts.
man.
It's all right. It's fine.
It just bothers me when it's like our faces are white.
The quality's fine. It's fine.
Okay.
I've seen worse.
Well,
I've seen worse quality. Have you seen worse quality than what we're giving you right now? I have watched lives that were worse quality than this, but because I cared about the people that were in the lives, I still watched it.
See,
I've heard of saltwater pools. That's so cool. We just haven't gotten too into it. I mean, we haven't looked thoroughly into it. But his cousin had a saltwater pool. We gotta figure out how to manage that.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
which ours is an above ground pool, which I know they sell the stuff for it to do it. It's just, yeah, I kind of went into it with the normal chemical and chlorine because that's what we started with. So, I mean, depending on how well this year goes and trying to establish it and everything, I'll look at the cost effect on it. And if so, I may just end up converting it to saltwater.
Yeah, our pool's about 13 foot around. So, hi, how are you, Dawn?
Yeah, so, I mean, it's like a 2,900 gallon pool. So, I
I'm
mean, it's
glad
not
to
huge.
see new faces
It
on
is.
here.
I know most of y'all. I think it's the first time that we've been live with y'all jumping on. So
I was just talking about how great the quality was, and now the quality's.
I know it. You know.
Really?
You know what? I bet you. Uh-oh. Hold on, guys. If I mess up, I'm sorry. Oh, that's one. If it messes up, sorry.
You guys look great, but it's not about how y'all look. It's
The awesome
information. Yay!
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Thank you. Yes, you're not a new face.
You're
I know,
not.
and I appreciate your old face.
This is the first time we've done a live on a Tuesday, though. Most of the time we did lives on like a Sunday evening.
Yeah.
But we've had some things in our lives that kind of shifted and stuff.
We just can't stay consistent. It's
can't.
very, very difficult to stay consistent with our life right now. So we try to jump on when we can.
View was in the garden. That was fun.
Oh,
okay, yeah. When the tomato pruning video, I think the last one that we did, she was on.
That's awesome. That was that was hot. It was so hot that day. But you have to prune those tomatoes. But now I'm not pruning. If anyone is wondering, I am not pruning tomatoes anymore. And the reason being, if I prune my tomatoes right now, I don't use shade cloth. So if I pruned my tomatoes,
Thank you.
the tomatoes will get scolded, like sun scolded, because there's no shade on them. Those leaves partly are to shade those tomatoes and make sure that they are healthy, happy, and they turn red. So I am no longer pruning my tomatoes. It is too hot. These sun rays are too heavy. So I'm just not going to do that. You may be able to if you have a sunshade, but I don't. I rely on companion planting. I rely on bigger crops like sunflowers and different vines to shade off my more sensitive plants. So yeah, I'm done pruning.
Our next big thing, if I could, which would be awesome, I would shade cloth our whole backyard in the garden area.
That would be a lot of work.
It would be a lot of work, but man, you know, it would be pretty amazing. We would literally make our own ecosystem in that area. But we couldn't do it because I got apple trees and other things growing there as well. So I don't think the thing
Hello,
would work.
Michelle, Mitten Prepper.
How
are you?
Donna Cruz from Fort Worth, our Western family over there.
Yeah, nice. Fort Worth's not too bad.
No,
it's not too bad.
You get more rain than we do.
Yeah, man, I promise you where we live, this is no joke. When the rain is all out there and it comes our way, it like comes to the border of where we live and then it splits.
Yep.
Or it'll stop. It's like, I'm like, what in the world? We have to pray that the rain can just come just a little bit more. It's terrible.
Because we're to the east of Dallas. It seems like Dallas is like the stopping or the splitting area. So it's like almost like it comes in and just like she said, goes all the way around. It's insane how it works.
Thank you, Dawn. We appreciate that.
Maybe a kiddie pool till then?
A kiddie pool until then.
Michigan is 100 degrees heat index today. Man, that must be bad for Michigan.
Whoa.
Like, we need shade cloth from our blueberry patch, vegetable garden. We are adding shade cloth. No rain here either. Yeah.
Lots of people have been adding shade cloth,
cloths.
and people who've never even added them ever before in their garden are adding shade cloth. Like I said, the only reason I am not adding it is because we have enough shade to get by. And I just don't want to pay for shade cloth if I do have enough shade to get by.
Yeah.
I am just stopping all pruning and allowing things to just do what they're doing.
McAllen.
I hear you about the heat. Yeah. Oh, I know. And we water the soil only. I work really hard not to water the leaves. Occasionally water will get on the leaves, but I try my hardest to stay water on the soil, on the mulch, so that I am not watering the leaves and they're burning up. Although I do wake up somewhat early, not super early, but I try to be out here at 7:30 so I can water everything before that heavy heat comes.
Yeah, so, because I don't know. I mean, Capone, are you the one that said you water in the evening? I think I remember her saying that.
Yes, I'm pretty sure she did.
If so, I mean, have you seen a benefit between watering in the evening versus the morning? I mean, does that really affect anything?
We've watered in the evening many times, but we are busy in the evening usually. Or we don't make it.
Yeah.
Heard you say you water in the morning. See, I water at night. Yeah. We've done watering in the evening, but sometimes we're just busy.
Yeah.
We literally are just busy in the evening. like the morning is easier for me. I don't really like waking up early, but it's easier for me.
Yeah.
We get all the animals out and
Soaks
watered
in
and
bed, stays
everything
longer.
and all that stuff. But
Yeah, and I think with us, especially since we do the heavy mulching, I think that helps a lot. The weather's crazy, really. This is not normal.
it's just summer past few years.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I've heard. I mean, like I said, even here in Texas,
Oh, they have
It's-
sprinklers.
even here in Texas, it hit 100 degrees rather quickly here. And just this morning, at 10 a.m. this morning, it was already in the 90s.
Oh, cool! They're adding moringa trees. I
Oh,
just
nice.
harvested leaves from my moringa today. I harvested comfrey and I harvested moringa leaves. I plan on doing salves, especially a comfrey salve, and I plan on doing moringa powder for smoothies, etc. We are getting serious about our herbs this year.
Yeah.
Our medicinal plants. I am no longer just going to let them sit there, look beautiful, and then die, and then over winter or whatever. I am going to harvest as much as I can. I just have to have the discipline. People don't realize that gardening calls for discipline.
Yes.
We have to write our goals down, write what we're going to do, write a plan down, and then get with it. We got to do it.
Yep.
I told myself this time, like y'all seen on my community post, I try to post a lot of information on the community post. Sometimes we can't just pop out videos, especially if they're only going to be like 2 minutes, 3 minutes. We're pretty, I don't know if you've noticed this, we try to be very straight to the point. I like videos that are straight to the point. That's just the way I am.
Yep.
Because especially if I have to, if I'll watch videos like blogs and things just if I have time. But when I want to know something, I want to watch straight to the point videos. So, instead of making 2-minute videos on certain things, I just put them on the community post. So be sure to check our community post. A lot of great information on there.
Yeah, like she said, we try to, and I think with the heavy mulch that we do, I think watering in the morning helps us with that. And like she said, it mainly works with her scheduling and our scheduling because we do quite a bit in the evenings. So unless we're going to be out there at like 10, 11 o'clock at night watering our whole garden.
I also don't like mosquitoes.
Yeah, that too. For us in the mornings is more beneficial because we both get up, we get moving. I take care of the animals and stuff while she waters the garden. So we kind of have our morning routine down in that. So
I think the mornings are like really when our family really gets into it. It's like he said, he takes care of animals. I'm watering garden. Kids are usually making breakfast or doing something like that. So
yeah, we are looking at dehydrating stuff. I'm just stopping by to say hello and hello, we love you too.
Hi, Dad. That's my dad. Angel Silva's my dad.
We do dehydrate.
I'm not happy with my dehydrator.
Yeah,
I'm not happy with it. I'm gonna have to clean it really good, sell it to somebody, and get another one. I don't know. Our house is small. It's perfect for us, but I mean, like, as far as the back door is right horizontal from the kitchen. Our kitchen is tiny, like a tiny little hallway. So our dehydrator's in the kitchen. So the humidity from outside, our kids play outside so often that my dehydrator is not dehydrating as well as it should be. So something that dehydrates for like 12 hours or let's say 8 hours is taking like 30 hours. And that's a lot of time.
Yeah, and we do have a net that she dries a lot of her herbs on. With that, but the dehydrating that she's talking about is like onions and things like that. We tried onions one day, and no lie, it took almost 2 full days.
It took forever.
And
I cut them really small too, so I do use a net. I love drying my herbs upside down with a string on our rack or like on our net herb dryer. I think that is the most best way for me because I can just wash everything. Throw it on there, let it dry, forget about it, and then get it again. So that works best for us.
Yeah, and you're right, Michelle. I'm the same way. I'm somewhat of an early riser. I've kind of slacked off a little bit on it, but I normally like to be out by 7 and try to get things going that way. Because 9 a.m. is really when the day starts, I feel like, for a lot of people. So I try to get everything done that I can before 9. And then that's when I really start my other stuff.
I think the motivation for the garden is what gets me up. I'm like, I have to water by 7:30 or at 7:30. I have to get that done. So, and sometimes the animals too, but now that he's home more, he's able to help a lot with the animals, because at first it was pretty much just me doing it all. So he's helped a lot with that.
Yep.
I love seeing all the veterans. Praise the Lord.
That's awesome.
You guys are awesome. Thank you for your service.
Thank you so much. It was y'all that paved the way for veterans like me to be in. So
it was so cool. We went, I don't know, on vacation or something. We went down south, Houston or something, and there was like this huge veteran homesteading convention. I'll have to get the name of it. You remember when we got invited to the Farmers of America Veterans or something?
Oh yeah.
It was the coolest thing. It was like,
I wish we could actually went to it.
yeah, we got invited there to go and like sit through their whole thing and eat a steak dinner and learn about veterans getting grants and stuff for homesteading, etc. But we were unable to stay. I wanted to stay so bad.
Yeah, it was in Austin, right?
Yeah, but we were unable to stay. I'm gonna get you that information. Wait, I might. Yeah, I'm gonna get y'all that information and see if they can do anything for anybody. We need to check into that again.
We do.
But that was pretty awesome. I thought it was so cool.
Yeah, no, I really wanted to stay too, but that was the time I still had to get back.
I drive my herbs same way, especially when
Growing system going.
My friend does hydroponics. It is the coolest thing because she works full-time, she homeschools her kids, and she is able to do hydroponics way easier for her than going in the ground and doing all that stuff. It impresses me. I am so impressed by hydroponics. I think it's so cool.
Yeah, if I had a 8x12 room or 10x12 room in my house that was unoccupied,
Good night, Dawn.
That's probably where I'd be. Good night, Dawn. Thank you so much for stopping by.
Yeah, it blows me away.
I would probably dedicate a room to hydroponics as well, because it takes away all of the stress of the climate and the weather, because everything is contained in that, and I think it's pretty awesome.
I think it's so cool, especially because you can still grow stuff during the winter time in the house. In those, they have all sorts of cool stuff like towers and stuff, but I probably wouldn't cough up that money right away. I would probably go ahead and we'd probably DIY and look into it.
I would DIY
eventually.
all of it. I think I would just do all PVC with pumps and stuff, especially with my line of my profession and everything.
See, she has a hydro room. Very cool.
Yeah.
Very, very cool. Yeah, my friend does it in like the yellow and black Home Depot things. She does the holes, she does the water. It has this little system. I don't know. It's so cool.
Yeah.
I told her I need to go over there and just make a video of her little setup. Because, like I said, she works full-time. She homeschools and all this stuff. She's just single mom, and she does it, man. It just blows my mind, and I have to have her on our channel at least once. So just to encourage other people, like, look, if she can do it, we can do it.
Yeah. You just got to make it work with what you have. See, the problem with it is, and that's one reason why we started well, that's not why we started the channel, but that's kind of why we've been progressing in the channel, is because we really want to encourage people to homestead in the situation that you're in. You know, we've always tried to push to where it's like, don't think you have to go out and buy 5 acres with a house and a farm and a barn and all this stuff to homestead. You can begin to do it where you are, where the property you are, the things that you have. And then as things begin to grow, you can begin to expand and go out into the adventure if that opportunity opens, and if you can. I mean, if not, there's nothing wrong with homesteading on your back porch or your patio or in your home or wherever it is. So
don't forget to like our what is it called? I guess just hit the like button. Best investment for small space. I have 12 units. 12. You know what? My sister needs to do that. My sister's in an apartment. She keeps killing all her.
She doesn't have space.
She could do it on the porch.
Oh, yeah.
She has she tries to do a porch garden type thing, and it doesn't work out. All her plants just die. I think she just needs to try hydroponics.
Wow, that's awesome.
35 years. That's awesome.
You got a lot of knowledge in that. That's amazing.
Oh yeah, that is a lot of knowledge.
Yeah.
We're so cool.
We're like what, 2 years into probably
2 years into it. Yeah. At first it's so funny. So we
put a unit in a closet.
What? That's cool. Very interesting.
Pretty awesome.
We went on a Thursday night with Bland's Promised Land Ranch. Monica and Eric, I don't know, 6 months ago or something. It was a bit ago. And one of their first questions for us was, what do you think about prepping? And me and him both were like, that's kind of, those are those crazy people. We didn't think nothing. We just thought it was the weirdest thing that people were prepping, you know, because when you think of prepping, you think the guy that's in a bunker.
Apocalypse.
Yeah, a guy that's in a bunker in the backyard, you know, with his piles of flour and stuff. But it's so funny where you, like, how you go from one place to another in such a small amount of time. It blows my mind. It's awesome. Are those levels behind you?
Yes, they are actually.
Yeah.
They are completely level. I could not hang a level that's not level. So yes, all three of those are level. The bottom one right here, the blue one, is the one that's on the on screws, and the other ones are just resting on it. Oh man, I made it real.
Yeah,
good.
you made it real funky. Okay, so
There we go.
what's so funny about that,
That didn't help.
Michelle, is people have been prepping since the beginning. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, Joseph in the Bible, like, he was told to pretty much prepare all that grain or all that wheat, you know, for what was coming. People have been prepping forever.
Sorry about the whiteness, guys.
That really bothers him.
It bothers
I'm
me
sorry.
beyond compare.
Okay,
I don't know why.
so it's like
I think we got to deal with
our
it.
grandparents and their grandparents and people down the street, the elders, have always been preparing for
If you lean back.
what is happening. We're gonna be trying to work with this whole time.
I learned from my grandparents. That's awesome. It really is.
I didn't grow up in a family who was prepping or anything. They just always I don't know.
We're gonna be whitewashed for a little bit, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know why
I don't know why it's doing
okay.
that.
It's all right.
You say that.
Oh, you can change the little.
Yeah, but I don't think it's gonna make it any better.
Yeah, but that is cool though. It has like different little.
Sorry, guys. See, when I do that, it
Yay!
works.
It works.
But it's gonna.
Hi,
yeah, I'm
guys.
just gonna stay here.
Okay, we're gonna stay very, very still.
Sorry. Video quality really is a pet peeve of mine.
Well, I mean, we wouldn't go that far because our quality's not top
Well, no,
notch,
I'm talking
but-
about like here, so you at least you can see like my skin tones, and it's not just washed out.
Yeah. But anyway, yes. So people have been prepping forever. They
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what happened. This guy, I think the zombie thing happened. Like, people started getting big into zombies and all this stuff, and then Walking Dead, and then all of a sudden everybody was like, oh my goodness, we need to prep, they're coming. And then they gave preppers a bad name. It became like the weird guy in a bunker underground. So it is what it is. We are totally into it now. We're trying to get our family more sustainable. We're trying to have some things set aside for a rainy day.
Yep.
We're trying to do better. And we're trying to help our family do better. We're trying to talk to our friends about doing better. My cabinets, they look so much better.
So much better.
They were so bad.
Awesome.
I used to have a bunch of random stuff in the cabinets. I did a lot of processed food. We are also the type of preppers that like to have good food, good healthy food.
Yeah.
Somewhat good nourishing food. I like to have good organic flours. I like to have nuts, like walnuts and almonds, and I like to have coconut flour and quinoa, different things that I know is going to be actual nutrition for us if something really went down.
Yeah.
I'm not the type that's going to prep a bunch of junk. I can't. I can't do it. I can't do it. I see people's mind behind just buying whatever you can. But at the end of the day, if something really went down and we had to provide for our family, we would have to worry about their nourishment. We would have to worry about not being able to just go to the doctor. I mean, we can pray to the Lord and He will heal. He's a healer. I've seen healings. He's seen healings.
Yep.
We've seen the miraculous. But at the end of the day, the Lord gives us wisdom as well in what we're prepping. I can't prep a mountain high of ramen and expect my family to be nourished on that. We can pray over it, but I mean, we've got to do better, guys. We've got to.
Yeah.
We've got to try if we can. You can get really good meals at Aldi. You can get some good food at Winco. You can get mason jars, big quart mason jars, even bigger than that, and store some food in there. You can get oxygen absorbers. We are learning so much about vacuum sealing and the different methods we can take to do better in prepping.
Yep.
And that was my thing.
Her spiel.
Yeah, my little spiel.
Yeah, because it is important. Like she said, we want to be healthy. We want to maintain the health of our family, and keep it going that way. And like Michelle said, I mean, yeah, in the 1900s, it was everything. Like, nothing went to waste. You use every part of everything you can. Vegetarian for most of my 51 years. Care for nature is healing. Yep.
That's right.
I mean, he even said that, like, in the book of Genesis, he talks about,
Hey, as I said, mountains of ramen. It's okay. If you want to eat your ramen, eat your ramen.
Yeah. But even in the book of Genesis, he said he gave us every fruit and herb-bearing tree for us. Like, he gave it to us to eat and to take of that. So it's important for us to understand that God created the herbs. He created these medicinal plants for us to benefit us and to really help us. Like, a lot of the stuff that like ailments and stuff we faced can be healed through the herbs that we have here on earth. Hello.
How are you, desert goat?
Are you from Arizona?
I don't know. Oh.
Maybe.
I don't know. Goats are goats in Arizona.
Well, he said desert though, so I mean that's like Arizona, West Texas area maybe.
Yeah. Another thing we like to push. Oh, you are.
No, that's Donna Cruz.
Oh, that's Donna.
She said yes.
Okay, so another thing we try to push is perennials and natives.
Yeah.
Learn the plants where you live.
Yeah.
Learn what's in the fields that in the fields with no one really owning them, the land, the foraging. Learn that stuff. Learn what is edible and what is not. Learn what helps heal and what does not. That's a huge thing that some people kind of forget about. One of the first things we added to our garden were, like, when we got real when it came to the mulching and really working on our soil, were perennials. We're like, what can grow every year? And I can depend on this plant to provide me with something.
Yep.
Learn about that stuff. Don't just buy fruit trees, buy native fruit trees. Buy fruit trees that are going to grow in your area. We just planted 2 mulberry trees.
Yep.
And they just started growing in our yard, and then we just moved them. And we have a mulberry tree behind our fence. We had no idea. We just kept cutting it down. We had no idea that was a mulberry tree. Yep. And this year it produced.
Yep.
Learn your area. Learn what plants grow in your area. Learn what is good for you. Very, very important. There's so many fruit-bearing trees that you can eat that you're not going to find at a big box store sitting there like, buy me $30. They're outside. They're out there. Your friends may have stuff in their property they're willing to give you and share with you. If not, join some homesteading pages in your area. So many people are willing to help each other.
Yeah, another thing we figured out that's native here that we had no idea is ground cherries.
Yeah, ground cherries.
They like grow wild here, I guess, in parts. Like my uncle, which is like 10 minutes from us, not even like 5 minutes from us.
Yeah.
He had them growing wild in his garden. My mom, which lives 2 hours north of us, had it growing wild in her garden. She kept tossing them and pulling them out and throwing them. She's like, these are weeds. And we just so happened to look at them one day and be like, wait a minute, those are ground cherries. Like, those are really good for you.
I was going to buy them.
Yeah.
I was literally going to buy seeds for ground cherries, and then I realized, wait a minute, they're like growing wild in his family's land, and then it just blows my mind because it's like, look at this. So I was going to buy this, and our family had it just growing here because it's native. So funny. Desert goat is born and raised in Arizona.
Nice.
Yeah.
From the garden. Yep. What do you do with them?
Ground cherries? You can eat them. They're edible.
Yep.
I've heard of people putting them in like jams too. We tried them for the first time with Leah, our friend Leah. I have a video
about her
a few down.
She
was planting. Well, she had ground cherries, and she let us try them. They were pretty good.
Yeah, they were.
They almost tasted like a sour tomato a little bit. Like, I don't even know how to explain it. Like, it was pretty good.
Yeah. It was good. I liked it. What's the other thing that you picked with your sister?
Dewberries.
Dewberries. That's another.
They're just God is so good. Let me tell you about the Lord's provisions. We wanted fruit so bad. We wanted berries, fruit trees, all this stuff.
Yep.
We were unable to purchase them, guys, because this stuff costs money, and we're not rich. Like, and we don't just have money to blow. Like, we're working on we're working on this. Yeah. Okay. So everything takes some time. So God provided 2 mulberry trees growing in our garden. We ended up moving them. That came out of nowhere. And then we go to the front yard one day, and there's dewberries everywhere in the new bed we just made.
Yep.
So I'm assuming that the mulch that we used or the soil we used had dewberry seeds or something. I don't know. Or the birds dropped them. So many dewberry vines, and they're so good. They're so good. I have a video down as well of us making a dewberry cobbler. It was delicious, and I was so happy.
Our yards here as well. That's
Rhubarb is good, but there's one reason why I'm not growing rhubarb at this current moment. Those leaves look so much like Swiss chard, and we grow rainbow chard, that I'm terrified that my son is going to eat them or try to taste them. And the leaves are very toxic. So I'm not growing them currently, but when my son gets a little older and more self-control, I will be growing rhubarb because that stem is delicious.
Yep.
Wild edibles, have you tried dayflower? No, I've never tried dayflower.
I don't even know what that is. I don't think I've ever heard of dayflower.
Yeah, I've never tried dayflower. The conservative artist, that is Jennifer. That's my friend Jennifer. She's awesome. So the conservative artist, she's awesome. She is practically pretty much new to YouTube. She is a beautiful artist. She works so hard on her artwork. She goes out and she sells her original paintings. If you can, go ahead to her channel and subscribe to her. She's just starting out and she's doing great.
Yep. She does videos of her painting and all that stuff. Is really interesting.
Yeah, I love watching videos of people do their art. Like, I don't know, it's just soothing to me. I don't know. It's pretty cool. And she speeds them up a little bit too, so that's pretty cool.
Yep.
I need to look into dayflower.
It's a local wild edible here in Texas.
I'm going to look that up right now. Right, hold on.
Sorry, guys. I'm trying to...
Yeah, the quality, it's all right.
It's just annoying. I don't mind blocking my face off, but man, it's just like, I wish it would stay right there.
Dayflower.
You know? But see, every time I move it, it goes right back. I wonder why. Like, I wonder if there's like...
Texas.
Sun or something right there.
Oh, that's a cute little flower.
Oh,
I don't think I've ever... Hold on, have I seen it? Maybe.
I don't think
I've ever...
I know I haven't. Many things I've never seen here in Michigan.
Huh.
So I could try some of the fruits, plants, wild edibles mentioned. I'm pretty sure y'all got some stuff there in Michigan that's wild.
Many things I've never seen. Wish I could try some of the fruit. She's probably no. She's saying she just
I know
wants
the
to
ones
try
that
the
we
ones that are here.
the ones that we were mentioning.
Well, come on, come visit Texas. Come on, let's go.
Obviously, the temperature's not much different, so
it's hot. You might not want to visit right now. It is hot.
It's hot. I mean,
it's hotter than hot, and there's nothing that you can really do to make you not hot, but go indoors somewhere.
Yeah, we just have a lot of like berries and stuff that are pretty native here.
Yeah. I've been seeing all the elderberries, like, as we're going on long drives, like where the waters and creeks are, I see all the elderberry flowers. I'm like, oh, look, it's so cute.
Honestly, I'm thankful you said that, though, Desert Goat. We'll probably be looking into it more and trying to see if we have any that's growing around here.
Yeah, thank you for letting us know. We look back at this and we write all this stuff down. Moringa you can grow in Michigan as an annual. Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. Grow moringa. Yeah, we grow that. We love that. I'm starting to dry that for powders. I'm going to start getting into veggie powders as well.
Yep.
Wild bilberry bushes. Or is it blueberry? Probably blueberry.
I don't know. Maybe not.
Maybe it is bilberry.
City area San Antonio was 110 to 115 degrees.
Oh, Lord,
when
I
was
can't.
there.
I can't live in San Antonio.
Yeah,
I can barely tolerate over here.
Yeah, the city is a whole nother ballgame.
The hottest we've ever felt, I've ever felt here is probably 104. Right? Maybe.
Since we've lived here?
Since we've lived here.
Yeah, 104.
104.
Her hottest I've felt in Texas has been about 110 in Dallas.
I haven't felt that yet.
And that's when I worked outside.
And if I did, I probably was inside.
You probably was.
So I never felt it.
No, bilberry.
Also called English blueberry. Interesting. Okay, cool. When I lived in New Jersey, blueberries were wild. They grew everywhere. So we were always picking blueberries. And when I lived in Washington, blackberries were wild. So I was always picking blackberries. I think that's so cool. I think it's so cool that you can literally just come out of your house and be like, let's go pick some berries. That's kind of how dewberries are where we are. Now that I know what a dewberry looks like, I see it all the time.
Yeah, we have a field or a lot that's right next to That's pretty much an overgrown lot. No one's ever touched it. So, and on the back side of it, there's a bunch of dewberries growing as well.
Right.
That I found out. So, maybe next year when it's in season, we can go back there and pick that off
Yes,
too.
as long as they don't cut everything down and build, we can do that.
I hope not.
That was when I was there, old lady here.
1989.
1989.
I wasn't born yet.
Yeah.
Depending on when. No, I wasn't even thought of yet. I was born in September, so conception wasn't even until January.
Yeah. Yeah. That's when he keeps texting me. Oh, everybody needs me.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's knowing the foraging is so important. Like foraging is very vital and important for many things. You know, we learned foraging, and now I feel old. Sorry. But foraging is really good because we actually forage for our animals and everything too. Our rabbits mainly is that Americans ate. You'll be surprised how many so-called weeds you... Yeah, exactly. That's what we learned with our rabbits. A lot of the weeds that we have here are amazing for them. So we chop them, we use them to feed our rabbits, to supplement food, and all of that.
In springtime, our rabbits get a 10 of forage.
Yep.
Like, in our yard, we get tons of it. We don't use any chemicals or anything, so
Yep.
we let the grass grow high in certain areas, and we just pick and we give it to our rabbits.
Yep.
And they're so healthy.
Yep.
Our rabbits are so healthy.
Yep. And it helps with feed costs, especially since that's going up as well. So it helps us a lot with cutting our bill down and trying to save us some money.
We're almost always the youngest people in our friends.
Yeah, we are.
We're never, like, very rarely, we're older than somebody. I don't know why. It's just, I don't know.
I don't know. We're old souls.
He's 1991. I'm
1990.
He's 1990 and I'm 1992.
Yep.
How do you
hurting.
feel? Hunting, trapping, and fishing.
Hunting, my family is big into it. I haven't gotten big into it. I don't mind it at all. Fishing, I'll fish, but
we haven't fished
in
a long. My dad fishes every single day.
Yeah.
My dad
Yeah.
is the fisherman of this time.
Yeah.
Like he always
Kids
fishes.
your age. And as far as trapping, we don't really. I mean, we could trap hog here.
We don't
But-
live in like.
My nephew's age.
We don't live somewhere like we don't live in the off grid
No.
at all.
We
So,
live in city limits.
If we wanted to trap and all that stuff, we would have to go out to do it.
Awesome.
But one day we will be living further out.
Yeah, and even then, like I said, in Texas, the only trap hunting I know of here in Texas that's real big is hog. And I mean, I'm okay with hog, but I don't like eating wild hog too much. It's
Jennifer
very-
said her
it's very
daughter
gamey.
is younger than us.
Yay!
Well, that's good.
Traps and hunts and hubby rescue all the time.
See,
I rescue all the time.
Yeah, I rescue. I'm guilty of rescuing a lot of cats and stuff.
Yeah. But yeah, hunting, I'm big on hunting just because I like to live off the land if I can. Like if I really wanted to get into it and able to do it, I would.
I think we've made it to where, purposely, we made it to where we have rabbits.
Yeah.
For a reason.
Yeah. We have getting ducks for a
Rabbit
reason.
meat is one of the best meats you could ever eat.
Yeah.
So that
Hi,
was
Sister Ball.
Hi, Sister Ball. So we did that purposely because we're not in an area where we can just hunt all the
Yeah.
time, fish all the time.
Yeah.
Our rabbits, now our ducks,
Yep.
and then we have chickens. We don't plan on slaughtering chickens yet, processing chickens, but the eggs, we use them for eggs. Our ducks will definitely be meat eventually, and our rabbits are our main meat.
Nice.
So I kind of, we did
white
that
soldiers.
purposely for
A
that.
shoulder. Is it soldiers?
Shoulders.
Shoulders. Why did I say soldiers? I don't even know.
Because it's an
Shoulders.
automatic thing.
But yeah, it's and
100
honestly,
acres. She said she can drive 20 minutes to 100 acres. Fields, hunt, fishing, farms. Oh my word.
yeah, that's amazing. And even if I did go hunting, I don't think I would only hunt for the purpose of.
Hi,
Kiana.
Our whole church
We're
is
just
on this
hopping on.
live. Y'all are awesome.
If I did hunt, it would literally, I would probably maybe 1 or 2 deer just to stock our freezer for the year.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not one to probably tag out, because if I tag out, I'd have too much meat. Like, we wouldn't eat that much meat.
And
like,
we have to get to the realization that we can't do everything. That's kind of where we are right now, where we know we cannot do everything.
Yeah.
My dad fishes, so he helps us with fish. His uncle, well, he will when he comes, you know.
Yeah.
His uncle, they hunt. So, or my dad hunts as well, and they help us with meat, like as far as deer meat and hog meat.
Yeah.
We've learned that we cannot expect us to do everything.
Yeah.
So right now we are at a point where it's like we are going to do what we can do, especially with where we live. Like, we're under a half an acre, and we do rabbits, ducks, chickens, and we garden.
Yeah.
So with gardening, that comes with, you know, fruit. It comes with vegetables. It comes with the medicinal herbs, drying herbs, making powders.
Yeah.
Learning how to forage and use those things that God has given us.
Correct.
And with the animals comes the eggs and the meat. Now, when it comes to beef and like deer and stuff and fish, that will come with other people helping us out. We are on a very small space, small scale, and so we are content right now with what we're doing and where we're at.
Yep.
The only thing we can do more of that I know we're going to eventually upscale is we are going to really take care of the fruit trees.
Oh, yeah.
And we're probably going to add more space in the front yard for more gardening.
Yeah.
But the barter system is a huge thing that we believe in.
Yep.
We have a lot of friends,
Yep.
and I'm thankful for that. God has blessed us tremendously, and I plan on being there for them, and they plan on being there for us. It's a barter system. It's a system we plan on doing. I'm going to be able to make the medicinal creams and stuff, and we'll have some meats and eggs, and we can barter and do what we need to do. When you're on a small level like we are, you can just think that way. Don't think what you can't do. Think what you can do, and don't think about too much of like the future, as far as like, oh, well, we'll get this, we'll get 100 yards, let's plan on our cows 10 years from now.
Yeah.
You can have a goal, but don't trap yourself in the future.
Correct.
Worry about today. Worry about what you can do today, how you can do it today. What are the small things that you can do?
Yeah.
Preserving food. Small things that I can do. I can go to Costco. I can go to Winco. I can go to Aldi. I can buy organic, unbleached flowers. I can go and get deals on certain things like condiments, and I can recan them and have them in my pantry. I can do the small things right now.
Yeah. And Desert Goat. We're like 5 hours from San Antonio.
What? 5 hours? Yeah,
I think we're about
4.5.
Yeah, 4.5, 5. Maybe 3, depends on how you drive in Texas.
Right.
Um,
He's not lying.
You know, I mean, depends on how you drive. But yeah, we're not too far outside. I mean, for Texas standards, we're not too far outside of San Antonio. In other places, 5 hours is a whole state drive. So yeah, we're not that far from San Antonio.
Yeah, you can raise quail in a small space.
Yeah.
You can raise rabbits in a small space.
You can.
What you see behind us is what we have as far as a shed or a garage.
It's like a 10 by 12, I think, or 8 by 12.
This is what we have.
Yeah.
So our house doesn't have a garage. It did at one point, but it was changed into a bedroom.
Yep.
Or a dining room. Then we halved it, made a bedroom.
Yeah, so in our house, like she said, I think it's like 1,300 square feet at most. So we have a pretty small, I won't say small, a good size house for us. I really enjoy the square footage that we have. And we homesteaded off a half an acre. So everything that we have is actually under half an acre worth of property that we stay on. I don't have a heart.
That's smart, Michelle. That's really smart. She said that she preps like a lot of vegetarian type meals because of what's going on.
Yeah, and honestly, I agree with that, and that's why we do the rabbits and the chickens, because those are self-sustaining. Like, we can keep those going for ourselves. We don't have to worry about having to go out and hunt or having to go out and find feed if we need to. We have our rabbits here. We can forage for them. We can grow things in our garden to feed them if need be. If we can't get feed, we can find ways to feed them and things of that nature.
We've gotten really big
Hey,
on...
Mariah.
There are a lot of forage and herbs and stuff that you can supplement as emergency animal feed. You just have to really look and figure out what you want to do. But we've been looking into that as well. Comfrey is a huge supplemental food for your animals, a ton of nutrition for them. Just certain animals can eat it the way it is, and certain animals have to have it dry. But Comfrey is a great one. Hi, Mariah.
Michelle, I agree. I know a lot of people who wish they could have chickens that can't, and that's always a bummer.
But you know what people are doing? They are going on homesteading pages without a homestead, and they are asking people, hey, who is willing to help me with a half an acre? Or can I buy chickens and food monthly and you hold them for me? People are doing that. People are finding friends that are out of city limits, and they're using some of their land, their permission, helping them with feed, helping them with whatever it is they need, and they are able to raise animals. We've really got to learn communication skills. I've learned that. We cannot stay in our house and be quiet and just worry about our family. We are in a time, we have to be in fellowship with people. We have to. We have to learn from others. We have to be wise. We have to be able to give as well, but not, we have to be wise. In all things, we have to be wise.
Wisdom and discernment is important.
Yes.
And like you said, barter system is very important. And that's pretty cool, Capone. You are building your own log. I think I've seen a couple of your videos on that, which is pretty awesome. Like that's some pretty intense stuff. That would be something I would love to do. Like if I bought a property somewhere off in the middle of nowhere, be able to just like build my own place.
Oh, moringa is good for animals. I feed the dogs and cats. That's good to know.
That is good to know.
I'm going to be writing that down. I didn't realize that.
No longer has animals now. The acres are rented to other organic growers now of crops.
That is so smart. I see people doing it all the time who have an abundance of land and they're not using all of it, or they can go ahead and rent out a small portion of it, and they're making money, and they're also helping a family that can't afford to get a new house, a new land, and you can't find it now. Like, if you do, it's a lot of work to get it done. You're going to get lots with tons of trees and a lot of work you have to do to it,
Goat,
at a huge price.
Desert Goat. We're going to have to subscribe to his channel, Goat.
Hobo Goat. Okay, we'll subscribe to that one.
Yeah, because he said that's where a lot of his prepper and DIY stuff is on that channel. My friend and I have a few other
200 Cornish cross chicks. That's awesome. We have actually looked into that with my sister, Christina. She has a good property, and she's pretty much told us when we are ready, we'll go half. We'll get the Cornish cross or whatever chicken we choose. I'm hoping to not get Cornish cross, and this is why we're not going to get them. Because apparently they can't breed by themselves, or we can't hatch out their eggs or whichever. I want to try a variety that I can to where we can just keep on doing it ourselves, so we don't have to keep buying Cornish cross.
So we can hatch out our own.
Yes, but I heard Cornish cross are amazing.
Amazing.
I've heard they're amazing, but for us, we want to try a different breed so we can go ahead and breed them ourselves and get it that way. But we have a lot now. My sister is allowing us to have a spot. We're going to half it. We're going to go half on a tumbler eventually. Maybe even 3 ways with his mom if she's in on it. And we're going to do that eventually.
Yeah, because community is so important. Like family or even outside of family, it's important.
Oh, they're a special secret cross.
Okay. But yeah, it's important to do that. We have the cinnamon queen hens for eggs. Yeah, we do. We have the Orpingtons.
We have Buff Orpingtons, which we absolutely love.
Yeah, Rhode Island Reds.
Rhode Island Reds.
What's the white ones?
And 2 white kinds. One is the skinny American one. What's it called? I forget what it's called. Leghorn. And then we have a fatter white one that I forget the name is.
Yeah.
But we really like the Rhode Island Reds and the Buff Orpingtons the most.
Yeah, and eventually when we get into the chickens, like she said, that's a whole different time, another place. Our outdoor cat wants to come get Levins. is a whole nother operation for us. And her sister is awesome. She lives like 30 minutes from us, so it'd be very easy to work with her and be able to help with that, get the chicken tractor and all that. We were much besides my name nowadays.
White Shoulders Farmstead, can you let us know some of the breeds that you usually do? White Rock, maybe. I think that is.
Yeah,
that's the one
it.
we have, White Rock.
Yep.
The big water container. They're called IBC totes.
Yeah.
Sometimes if you go on like Marketplace, Craigslist, they can sell IBC totes from factories, and they'll power wash them with the machine washing multiple times before they sell them.
Yeah.
You can test them. You can put water in it and test to see what's in there. But there's usually not many trace of anything. We bought one. We bought 3 from this guy locally.
Yeah, we honestly, it was a godsend connection. I will say that, because I was looking at IBC totes as well, and all I could find is one used for chemicals. And somehow I stumbled across this guy a few years ago, and I messaged him and was asking about it. And he worked at the site where they were, and he was actually the one in charge of cleaning out the totes from the chemicals. So he did all the proper cleaning, everything on it. And he talked to his boss, and his boss was like, "Hey, we're just going to throw these away."
But those chemicals were not oil.
They weren't.
It was shampoo.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, correct.
You know, it was shampoo. So that makes a huge difference. I wouldn't buy one with oil in it either.
So,
absolutely not.
Yeah, even with shampoo and stuff, you can clean it with Dawn soap and water. I've seen videos on how to clean them out and stuff. It's annoying and a pain, but you can do it and make it to where it's good enough to water.
Yeah, and I wouldn't do that work unless you filled it up at least halfway with water first and did a test strip and see if you actually have to do that.
Yeah, correct.
Fast growth. Yeah, the Cornish cross was developed for fast growth. That's what we looked into.
Yeah. Our own DIY water catchment system using a garbage can.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of those.
People make those things with... People are creative. Look, when they want to do something, they do it.
Yeah.
And they find a way to do it.
Yeah.
Here in Texas, those blue barrels are always being sold.
The water barrels.
Super cheap. I don't know why. I don't know what they're doing with those. I don't know, but they're always sold super cheap here.
Yeah. Yeah, so, I mean, there's always different ways to do it. And you can work in it and stuff. Less than $40. Yeah, I was buying...
We need to get a Berkey system.
We do. The IBC tote I was buying, I think, was like $75 a piece. And there were 375 gallon. Oh!
Shadow.
Cat just scratched me.
He likes...
IBC... Our cat loves me, but he loves to hurt me.
He injures him. I don't know why. He
time.
loves him so much, he'll be purring and he'll bite him.
Yep. Overstimulation or something.
Like overstimulation. It's the weirdest thing.
But yeah, because my main thing too, eventually what I would love to do is for our rain system, I want to put a bypass on it and have it to where it goes through either a Berkey system, or I've seen another 5 to 6 stage water filtration system where it's actually filtered with a UV light at the end. So it's actually completely purified, and the UV lights kill the rest of it at the end of it to where it's actually drinkable water. So eventually I want to do that to our rain system so we can actually be able to ingest our rainwater if need be.
I don't mind the time of the meat birds. I guess it's because we raise the rabbits, so it's not that huge deal to us. I didn't realize that Orpingtons were a meat bird, but it makes sense. They're huge.
And they grow pretty quickly.
So yeah, that's actually really good to know. We cannot have a rooster right now. We can't have a rooster because of where we live.
Yep.
But eventually we will.
Yeah. We really try our best to do what we can and stay out of sight, out of mind type of thing.
Yeah.
Excellent. Yeah, that's really what I want to do. That's another huge goal of mine, which unfortunately the filters and everything are kind of expensive to do it. I mean, I'm a plumber by trade, so I know I can do it with copper as well. We used to have a copper pool.
That's good to know.
Yeah.
Get 5 roosters then. Yeah, no, I'm like stressing about these ducks. I'm like, oh my word, how many drakes are gonna come out of that duck thing?
Filter and drink it. We're just a 5-minute walk to Clinton River water source.
Oh, that's so
nice.
awesome to be right by a water source. That's amazing.
Yeah. Now, I know that there is an underwater system here because, like I said, my uncle, which doesn't live far from us, he has well water. So I know that there is a possibility of that. So that's another thing. If we get property eventually, that's one of the first things I want to do is drill to see if we have a water shelf and be able to get a pump on that to get actual well water that way.
Ducks are noisy. Okay, so about that, we have Muscovy ducks. So and Welsh Harlequin, which Welsh Harlequin, even them, they don't make much noise unless they're hungry. They'll be like, "Meh, meh," just for me to go feed them, and then they're quiet. You don't even hear them. We're right by the ducks, and you hear nothing. The Muscovies, they don't quack.
Nope.
They hiss. They're not even really a duck. They're more like goose, but they don't make any noise. They're foragers. They eat bugs, and they're great meat. Duck, so we are not dealing with noise too much. Roosters are way louder than our ducks for sure.
And speaking of water,
that's in the works on the bag version. Well, good. You need a water system.
Yep.
You need a water system. We're gonna get a filtration system put in on one of them eventually. We do want a Berkey. I mean, that'd probably be easier, but it's so expensive. But we're gonna get one eventually.
Yeah.
The Lord will provide.
Amen.
For sure.
I had a thought and then I lost it.
Oh no.
I don't know. But yeah,
To eat duck, lucky he will eat. So apparently Muscovy ducks taste like beef.
Yeah.
And you know what? That's not just some weird rumor. I've been seeing it all over different sites. I'm like a researcher. I love to research. So many people say the exact same thing. Ducks taste like, Muscovy ducks taste like beef. That's one of the reasons why we got them. Wells are great. Be sure to save for future wells needed. 3 different wells on the farm, 3 generations here. Michelle, you are so full of knowledge.
Yep. Water purification.
I didn't know that.
I thought we read that.
Maybe we did. I don't remember. Moringa seeds. Cool.
We've done a lot of research on stuff, so.
I raised had a beefy flavor. That's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool. I mean, I feel like you can manipulate some with raising it and stuff, and what you feed them and how you do that. So I know that that's possible. Like I said, I just don't do wild hog because I've had wild hog before, and it's really hard to get that gamey meat out.
If we had to, I'll eat me some wild hog.
Well, yeah.
I mean, if it came down to it, but yeah, that's not our first. We don't really want pigs. I don't want pigs. My friends have pigs. I'll buy their pig. After I'll pay for processing or whatever it is that needs to be done, but I don't want pigs.
Yeah. In my mind, if I do a pig, kind of like she said, I would probably have my uncle raise it because he does pigs, or he's starting to do.
Yeah.
I'd have my uncle raise it, and then I would want to process it myself. Because my issue is paying for someone to process it is expensive.
It's so expensive.
And I know I won't get all perfect cuts and all this stuff, but man, I would save a ton of money if I just butcher it myself.
Yeah, that's another thing we've been really looking. What's up, Jesus Love? Hey, how are you doing?
Hello, good times.
We're going to be doing extensive research on butchering all kinds of animals.
Yeah.
I want that knowledge. If you guys have any book recommendations, I'm also a believer in having a book. One good book for one certain subject.
Casting out in those.
Into those ones. Oh, no thanks. I don't want those ones. No, thank you. Yeah, so if y'all have a book, let me know. I had Amish place process. It was only $160. We don't have any Amish here. Well, we do, but they're not even Amish. No, we really don't.
They're not.
It's too hot. I think the Amish are like smart, and they're like, we are staying up north. We are not dealing with Texas.
Tastes worse than the hogs out here in Texas.
What is Javelina?
I've heard of that before.
I'm about to look it up real quick.
I've heard of Javelina. For some reason, that it just
rings a bell.
Yes, but I've heard that it doesn't taste very well.
That's a pretty name.
Alaska, the Last Frontier, and I would have a hard time getting through learning how to process animals. I've watched that too.
Those are pretty funky looking.
Okay, yep.
But that's a pretty name.
But Alaska, see, me processing, I don't have too much of an issue with. Like, I have a pretty good have a pretty good way to disconnect with that. Even with our rabbits, honestly, I'll be honest, the first one I've ever processed and stuff, Javelina.
See, I was gonna pull a little Spanish accent and be like Javelina.
Javelina.
But then I was like, no.
So even with the first rabbit I processed,
Really? These people and these spam things.
of course. Anyway, so first rabbit I processed was actually, it was a little tough for me, just because I had to cervical dislocation for it, the processing part. So it took a while for me to really get that and to process it in my mind. But once that part happened, the processing part is easy. Dispatching was hard, processing was easy. So it's never been a huge issue.
I'm in Florida.
Anything with human but animals.
Oh,
See,
yeah. His family hunts wild
Yeah.
hog. We have tons of friends that we've eaten wild hog many times.
Yeah.
But if we were being very privileged Americans and being very picky, we wouldn't pick that wild hog.
No.
But we will eat it if we had to.
Correct. Necessity rules at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But yeah, again, I could process. I was in the Marine Corps, so same thing. Like, not really combat veteran. I am a combat vet, but
Michelle, when did you retire? I'm just curious. When you retired or when you got out of the Army? Because my aunt actually was a combat medic as well, but she's still in, though. I was a combat medic. I don't like the taste of wild hog either. Yeah, we don't like the taste, but we'll eat it. Wow, nice.
88 to 96. Man, wow.
Amazing.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you for your service.
Yep. And operating.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, nice.
Y'all are awesome. So I know where I'm going if something goes down. I'm calling y'all. Hey, I need you in Texas. Help me. My arm just fell off. It's like,
That's serious. You're going to pack it with some salt and keep going.
yeah, yes, salt is a good one to stock up on. Stock up salt. It's very important.
Yep. I mean, I know how to stitch up someone. It may not be the prettiest stitching, but I could do it.
In Jesus' name, we won't have to worry about that. For sure.
But yeah, processing animals never been too much of an issue. Because like she said, I kind of grew up around it, my family and all that. In the Air Force, but they told me I had to finish school first, so I gave up on 74 to 77. Nice.
Wow. Yeah, y'all are awesome.
Nice. Yeah, my papa, he served in the Marine Corps from 69 to 71 is when he was in the Marine Corps.
So many veterans on
so
here
many.
tonight. That is awesome.
That's amazing.
We're
like,
so thankful.
I'm actually blown away by that.
Me too.
I love veterans, being one myself.
Mm.
It's awesome. It's a good community to have.
Yeah, it is. A good mentality mindset as well,
Yep.
from what I've noticed.
Yep.
The mindset is pretty similar, even across branches.
Yep.
Oh, it's getting hot, guys. Disabled veteran now for about 6 years. Previous injuries. I highly recommend everyone learn basic first aid. Basic first aid and CPR. Yeah, that they have really cheap classes to learn that.
Yep.
A lot of them, I homeschool, so a lot of the homeschool community where we are, they do a lot of those classes.
Yep. Process the deer, but husband hasn't brought one home in a long time.
Hi, kindness for weakness.
Yeah, actually, she's doing a homeschool event this next year called Barefoot University, and this whole year is about survival. Like, it's about how
Survival
to start fire, how to tie knots, how to build shelters, and all this stuff. So it's going to be really awesome, and I'm actually excited about it. Because I'm hopefully going to help a little bit in it. I don't know everything. I wasn't a Boy Scout, so, but...
Which you don't have to, because each lesson that we're learning it together. We're going to be doing whittling. We're going to be learning a lot of really cool skills at forest school.
Yep.
I love being a leader with Barefoot University. If you know anyone who homeschools, you can start a Barefoot University forest school in your area. And it's seriously awesome.
I'm sending you my kids.
Yeah, it's really odd. We learned a lot. I've learned a lot leading it, and we have tons of information that the kids go home with.
Because it's all for outdoor stuff. Like last year, they were learning about trees, how to identify trees, how to forage.
We were basket weaving.
Yeah.
We were
building blinds and stuff.
We were doing so much. I mean, it's such an awesome thing. We're learning how to tie different knots.
Yes, it can be.
It's really cool.
So to your family and close community. Exactly. I'm all about it. Like, I want to learn as much knowledge as I can. With whether it's survival skills, homesteading skills, prepper skills, whatever it is, I want to learn what I can and try to obtain it the best I can.
I want to get we're still building our like I want to get knives. I want to get good knives, quality knives for like the different things. If we're going to be looking into all this stuff, so if you have any recommendations, whenever we save up some money, I plan on doing that, and we plan on doing that, getting that together. Cool. My head is exploding. I have a forest school book. Oh, cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we love it. Yeah, it's called, I have a video. It's on, there's a playlist for Barefoot University Forest School. I just have 2 videos, one about me encouraging someone to be a leader, and then one of some of the stuff that we've done with all the children, just a few things. If you wanted to look at that video, it's really cool. It's really neat. I'm thankful that I can lead a community like that.
I don't know if they're going to do the hand bow or not for the fire making. I'm not sure if that's
I'll have to
there.
look. Our son is 5. He just turned 5, and he got his first bow and arrow. A real bow and arrow, and he is actually really good at it.
He is.
He was shooting a target with our uncle and my husband, and he was doing so good. I'm so proud of him.
Yeah, he's doing really, really good with it. What's up, buddy?
Tablet.
What?
The tablet.
What's wrong with it?
Oh, yeah, it timed out.
Okay, then all done.
Yeah, just color or something for a little bit, okay, buddy? All right, thank you.
Hand drill, bow drill. That's so cool. Let me look at some of this stuff. Hold on. Let me look at something real quick.
Yeah, because that stuff's really cool and interesting. Like, it also teaches them, like, how to look for things that are good fire starters, good kindling, and it teaches the difference between kindling and all that.
Okay, so this is some of the things that we're going over. First aid, trail dangers, fire safety, fire building, knife safety, weapons, outdoor weapons, whittling, knots, trail signs, fire signaling, compasses, maps, celestial navigation, GPS, orienteering, time, land survey, bearings, hygiene, water, shelters, lashing, forts, tents, cooking, traps, and fishing. We are like doing it this year. We are doing it, and I'm so excited. I have sent so much information to the families, and I'm like, get your kids knowledgeable about certain things so they're not shocked when we go over all of this. It's a ton of skills.
Most families no longer teach life skills. Yeah, it is very important because truly these are skills that will benefit children. Like, it's going to help them grow in their lives. Cut away from your body and body part. Yes.
The most exciting thing about this year, I'm so excited, is we have 35 families signed up for our group. I'm so blown away. We had maybe 15 last cycle.
Yep.
So the fact that we have 35 families, and a lot of these families have no less than 3 children.
Yep.
So we're going to have a lot of kids that are going to be learning these skills, and I just love watching them because these are things that they don't learn. These are things that they've probably never seen, never heard of, and they're going to be hands-on with these things, and we depend really hardly on the parents. This is not something they drop their kids off. This is something that your family stays with your family.
Yep.
And you are, as an adult, as a parent, you are learning with your children. You are being hands-on with your children.
Yep.
And as a family, you are learning together, and you are doing it together. This is not a daycare. This is not babysitting. This is something families do together and learn together. These skills are awesome. I'm so excited. I'm passionate, guys.
You said cycle. Are you doing classical what?
Let me see. I probably classical. I forget what it's called. Hold on. Conversations. My phone got weird. There we go. No, I don't do classical conversations. Barefoot Forest School is one of our only co-ops that we do personally because we're very busy.
Yeah.
He's a pastor, if you don't know. So we do a lot of ministry. We do street ministry. We do in the church ministry. We go do funerals. We do a lot, and we help people. We actually have relationships with the people in our church. I hate to be that way, but we actually have relationships with them.
Yeah.
So we're very, very busy. We do Bible studies, and we just, have barbecues. We're busy. So I try to stick it to one special homeschool co-op thing a week, and Barefoot has been my main one, and we enjoy it.
Yeah, it's been awesome. Yay, pastor ministry more. Yeah. So yeah, it's been awesome, and it's exciting too because we're actually learning the same process. I know a lot of it just from growing up in more of a country atmosphere. I grew up very urban as well, but I kind of have rural and urban lifestyle in me. And when I say urban, I mean Texas urban, not like the streets of New York urban. But so I know like how to start fires. I know how to build fires. I know all that stuff, but I don't know like the fundamentals of it. So it's going to be interesting for me to learn more of what I know, but to gain more knowledge in it and understanding in this stuff. So it's going to be really cool to learn even more of first aid and trapping and all that stuff.
One of my best friends is a leader with me. There's 2 leaders. It's me and her, and the way we started this was we just wanted to know more. We wanted our children to know more, and we didn't want to be solely dependent on what somebody else was saying and what other people were doing. And so it's become such a fun thing, and I'm so happy he gets to enjoy it with us this year. He kind of was able to last year a little bit, but this year he's going to be more hands-on with our group. So we'll also have a man's presence there, and that will be really, really helpful.
Yeah, and like she said, the cool thing is it's a group thing. So it's like, it's geared towards the families being there and helping. Church from the same reason. Breaking bread.
Yes. Really breaking bread.
Yes.
Actual fellowship, not just, just being there.
Yep.
That is something huge. Something huge to us.
What, buddy?
Can I have some sweet tea?
Yes, sir, you may.
We'll be there in a minute, okay?
Is it almost over?
Yes.
Yeah.
I love you.
Oh, it's for a minute.
I don't know. I'll let you know.
One more?
Go. But yeah, it's breaking of bread and fellowship is so important, and we love that, and that's something we've really tried to push in our church, is being able to have fellowship one with another, because otherwise we can't iron sharpen iron, we can't edify one another, we can't be that. So it's so important for us to come together, to unify together, and to build that unity as a body and be able to really work together here.
Yeah. You said it. It's important.
It is.
We love it. And it's important to love church. It's important. I don't want to just go somewhere because I feel like I have to. I don't want to just go somewhere because I'm marking off something on my calendar.
Yep.
We enjoy being with other believers. We enjoy fellowshipping. We enjoy
That's awesome.
the church building for a piece of it, which the church building is just a piece of our walk. Just a piece. So just having that little piece it helps. Yeah, you can.
Yeah, it's and it's beautiful that your church has that that group for all ages and stuff, and being able to help with that, because that's so important, because unfortunately sometimes they do get kind of overlooked or get pushed to the side because people don't want to take the time out to really focus on that. So I think that's really important.
People forget who has the wisdom. I think because everything is so available right now that everybody thinks they can do everything by themselves. But there is some true wisdom in the elders. There's some true wisdom in certain people. I may be wise in certain things. He may be wise in other things. His grandparents may have far more wisdom in certain things because they've been through a lot. So we can't just not mingle with each other. I try really hard, and he tries really hard to make sure that we all know each other, and we're all fellowshipping, we're all breaking bread, we're all talking. We're all talking about the wisdom that God's given us, the things, the testimonies, because it's so important. We learn every single day. It's good to learn from each other.
Yeah. And Desert Goat, man, that's amazing that you went from that to where you are now. That's
amazing.
A testimony.
Praise the Lord. God
is good. He's faithful, And Donna, yeah, you're right. It's so important that we love each other. again, like you said, that's how we show that we are Christians. That's how we show we're Christ-like, is the love that we have.
The biggest work of the enemy is isolation. I say that all the time. When you find yourself in a corner and isolated, that's the work of the enemy. We've got to get out of that corner.
Proud of you.
How hard?
Like social media community.
Aw.
Thank you, Bobby. We appreciate that.
Thank you.
We're all God's children, and everyone can learn many things. Yes, exactly. And there's a reason why, the Bible talks so much about that. Like the elders, the women teaching the youngers, and the elders teaching the men, and the men teaching the younger ones. Hey, Kentopolis. So, it's so important for us not to fall away from that. We can glean so much from the elders in our church and those that have gone through things, that have been through so much, and that have that. We can't be thinking to ourselves, we know everything, because, otherwise we're going to learn the hard way.
That is awesome that your grandmother showed you that.
That is amazing.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, they learned a lot, our grandparents. Cause
They've been through a lot.
They've been through a lot.
Whether you lived in the city or in the country.
Yeah.
Your great-grandparents, your grandparents, they've been through a lot.
Yeah.
They've seen a lot.
Yeah, if they went through World War II and the Great Depression and all through that, man, they know what it means to survive.
Right.
They know what it means to literally put together scraps on the table to eat and to be able to fend for themselves and make it through.
Even us, we've been through times where we didn't have much.
Yep.
I mean, we haven't been always in this mindset where we were just making it. Bread was dinner. Then it was bread that I was making, or that's it. I mean, we went through hard times where we were just eating rice.
Yep.
And, God is so faithful, because, those times were only momentarily. Like, they were very small season.
Yep.
But we learned so much from that, to where if something was to happen again, to where we fell on hard times, we can overcome with the Lord. The Lord is our strength. The joy is our strength. We can learn to do better with what we have now, and make meals and barter and do whatever we need. We have all these skills that so many have had to deal with before in the past. I think the hard time with it now is our generation, and the generation younger than us hasn't been able to see the hardness of what our elders have
I
seen.
can't find a bowl.
Okay, ask one of your sisters.
Yep.
I guess no.
Yes, bartering is a wonderful thing. We love bartering. And like she was saying, there's a saying that I may get it wrong, but it's somewhere around this. It's hard times. Hard times make hard men. Hard men make easy times. Easy time make easy men. Easy men make hard times. So it's like a vicious cycle that goes around and around. And I feel like we're at that time where we're at that breaking point of there are some easy men or easy people in the world, and we've gotten so soft to things that we don't know what it is to have to survive.
Sometimes we become too privileged.
Yep.
We are very blessed as Americans. I still stand by that today. We are very, very blessed as Americans, even in the weird times that we have. But a lot of our younger generations are very privileged, and they have never had to work. They have never had to see what others have seen. They have never had to struggle.
Yep.
So we both feel it is very, very important to make sure our children are okay, but also to not overly help them, overly give to them, because they have to learn.
Yep.
They have to learn this on their own. We tell them stories about how it was once hard.
Yep.
They speak to their grandparents and hear about the things that used to go on, the things that we weren't always like this.
Yep.
And they may come on hard times one day. They have to be prepared. And they have to learn how to cook. They have to learn how to build things. They've got to learn how to take care of animals. They have to learn these things.
Yep. Like, I try to tell our kids all the time, like, we can't just always depend upon Walmart being down the road, or McDonald's being there, or this being there, or that being there. We got to be able to really fend for ourselves, keep ourselves where we are, and keep ourselves alive, not dependent upon other people.
Right.
The Bible even talks about that. The Bible tells us not to put our faith and trust in men. No. Don't go to Egypt all the time for help, but we need to look unto the Lord for our help. We got to look unto him. We got to put our trust and faith in God and truly know what it is to depend upon him.
And a lot of this knowledge that we are receiving, we have to talk about it.
Yep.
We have to fellowship with people and let them know, because a lot of people are not in the same situation we are, and that some of these things they have to hear.
Yep.
They have to hear it. Our children, they have to hear some of these things. They have to be prepared for real life.
Yep.
I homeschool, but guess what? My children are going to know what's going on. They're going to know. I don't homeschool just because I don't want them seeing everything in public school. I homeschool because I want them coming to me first before they see what is going on out there. I want to answer those hard questions. I want them to hear it from me, before they hear it from the world. So it's just, you learn so much. Yeah. You really do.
Yeah, you can't harbor your kids. It's so important to teach them life skills. We can't have a generation that doesn't know how to get out there and change a flat tire, or that doesn't know how to start a fire, that doesn't know how to crank a generator if they have to, or doesn't know how to live, without amenities for a little bit, Another thing we need to get back to, we used to go camping as a family, and we used to do that. We would literally cook on a fire. We wouldn't use any special amenities. We would start a fire. We would have the thing on it. We would cook on cast iron skillets. We would teach our children and show them that, hey, listen, you can live out here if you have to and if you need to.
Yeah.
And it's so important to show them that and to teach them that. My children watch me process the bunnies. They watch me dispatch them. They watch us have to put them down. They watch all of that. Why? Because that's the reality of it.
There may come a time where they have to do it. There's going to come a time where my husband's going to be like, all right, y'all have been watching me process these animals. It's your turn.
Yep.
It is time for you to learn to take on this responsibility,
Yep.
because at the end of the day, this is for our family, and you are a part of our family, and you will start being committed to our family and helping around. Like, my children already cook. They cook
Yep.
for us. If we're busy and time goes on, my daughter will cook breakfast, multiple daughters,
Yep.
and my son even. They'll help with different things, different chores around the house. We're trying to get them more responsible.
Yep.
For a purpose. There's a purpose. They're going to be out there one day by themselves.
Yep.
And they have to learn these things.
Dude, how many years of public schooling, but how many life skills? Exactly. They did away with trade schools. I don't remember because I wasn't there, but my grandfather and that generation told me that they used to teach like home ec. They used to teach sewing. They used to teach cooking. They used to teach life skills in actual public school. And it's so important for us to understand that they're not doing that. So as parents, we have to be able to step up and to teach those things. We can't be afraid to let our kids get their hands dirty and to really know how to cook, how to sew, how to clean, how to process animals, how to do all of that stuff. So it's so important for us as parents to be parents and to teach our children and to train them up in the right way.
It's okay. Whoops.
Hold on.
Is it still on?
Yes, it's still on. Sorry, guys.
My son kind of hit a door. He was asking for something.
You may have to go fix it.
I gotta fix it. Hold on.
As far as that, we don't. I mean, self-defense is important.
The reason we don't do self-defense. I mean, we do self-defense, but we do it as in like a private setting. Like if somebody was like a friend or stuff knew self-defense, we like my daughter did a self-defense class type thing. We don't encourage her going into the bowing down to the sensei and all that stuff. We don't encourage that because we are really big on trying to maintain a level of staying on our God. Unfortunately, a lot of martial arts now today is really big on old false gods and a lot of weird things. So we try to stray away from that. But if you have a personal person that you know that is not doing all of the bowing down and all that stuff, that is willing to teach your children self-defense and special skills, go for it. My friend Jennifer, she's at our church. They do kind of self-defense type things. She knows the person personally that trains her kids to do this stuff, and there's no weird intentions. Unfortunately, because I'm gonna get really real with you guys, our church, we we've seen a lot of crazy things when we pray over people. We've seen a lot of testimonies that people normally don't see. A lot of people in our church are in witchcraft, have been in witchcraft.
Yep.
They've done a lot of things that that would blow your mind, and it blow your mind. So our minds are open to a lot of things now. Once you learn things, you cannot unlearn them.
Yep.
Especially when it comes to the Lord and the false religions, false gods, and all that stuff. So we stay clear of certain things because of that.
Yeah.
But that actually makes me more excited because God opens our eyes, and then we're able to help We're able to help small businesses and small friends that know defense and all that stuff. We can help their business with. Pay them to help with our children or learning, because our children know self-defense and stuff like that. Actually, two of our girls are actually in martial arts right now because of their other side of the family, and we pray over them all the time because there's a lot of things you learn about the Eastern, what does she say? The Eastern religious stuff, the crafts. A lot of this stuff stems from some really wicked things.
Yeah, it's important to... If you're in that, it's important to really research where all that comes from and really get the meaning behind it, because unfortunately a lot of it does stem from religious practices. And if we are truly serving the one true God the way we're supposed to, we got to be very careful about not worshiping other gods, whether knowingly or unknowingly.
Even if you don't know,
Yeah, so...
That can teach self-defense, personal protection, and exactly.
Yep.
If you know places like that, go there. I'm not kidding you guys when there is a lot of things out there that the world is saying is okay, and it's not okay.
Yep.
There's a lot of things when you seek really strongly about certain things, especially when we became parents.
Your phone just died.
When we became parents, we learned a lot of stuff. It's like we learned a lot of stuff. So we can go through whole rabbit holes about all this stuff. We'll
have to do a whole nother live if you want to go down that hole.
We will literally have to do a whole nother live about some of the stuff that the God has revealed to us.
Yep.
But we're not going to go in that today. So seek the Lord first.
Yep.
Seek the Lord first with all things.
Everything.
Every single thing.
Yes,
because the enemy comes trying to mock the Lord. He comes trying to be just like the Lord. And he cannot be the Lord. So he likes to mimic things that are godly and make them ungodly. It's a lot. That's a whole nother live.
Yeah. So Kentopolis, we
talk
may
to
do
you
a
later.
live
some
other time, and we will label it or put it on there for, like, I don't know, faith-based live or something, which all of our lives are faith-based, but I don't know, we'll name it something so you know. In the Marines, how did you handle some of the things?
His eyes weren't opened yet.
Yeah.
His eyes were not open when he was in the military yet.
I forget exactly.
Yeah, his... Oh my gosh.
You had to go through that you don't agree. Yeah, honestly, it struggled a lot while I was in there. I really did. Even coming out of it, I struggled with quite a bit of stuff. But thank the Lord for his grace and mercy.
Go play, Nana.
You know, with praying a lot and really seeking his face and really allowing the Holy Spirit to come in and to really change me, it's really changed my outlook on things and has really helped me cope with a lot.
And we've also, like, I'm going to tell you right now, the military is not what it used to be.
No.
Unfortunately. A lot of you veterans here served a while back. Right now, the military is not what it used to be. A lot of people are coming out of it with pretty messed up, with terrible memories, terrible situations that's happened to them, struggles, trauma. We pray for these people. We hear them. We hear their stories and testimony. My husband has so many things that, you know, it's not the same, and we have to pray for the people in the military. We need to pray for the people who are going in there with good intentions, that are going there with the focus on protecting our country, because there's a lot of wickedness in many things that we deal with in the world, in here, because we live in the world. That's just what we are not in heaven yet. So there's things here that we just have to deal with, or we can avoid. If we can avoid certain things, we have to avoid them.
Yeah, it's so important. You know, speaking of, someone mentioned PTSD and all that. I mean, I was diagnosed with that. Um, not It was probably more severe than what they diagnosed me with, but at the same time,
He was healed
I
of
was
it.
completely healed. Like, God has completely taken that away from me. I used to be to the point to where I couldn't even be in a large room with a bunch of people. I would have major anxiety. I had to leave. I would panic. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't do any of this stuff. But I truly continued to seek the Lord and pray and pray and pray.
Yeah.
And God truly delivered me from the
PTSD.
the sickness of PTSD.
And we're so thankful because that was the mental part of what he had to deal with in the military. He does still to this day have pains and aches and injuries from the military, but the mental part is gone. God has completely healed him from that. I was a Christian in the military. I still suffered from it.
Yeah, it was really hard. It was.
These are those hard conversations.
Yeah, because I had to deal with a lot as well. There was a lot of stuff that I went through that I didn't agree with either, but I had to do it, unfortunately, under orders. So I did it, and yeah, there are things that I live with to this day, but you know what? It's my testimony now, because I went through it, and God has now set me free from a lot of that stuff. Like I said, I've been delivered from a lot. Now I think back, and there are some things that I don't really remember anymore, that God has helped heal me from, a lot of trauma that I've faced that God has delivered me out of. And he can do the same for each and every one of you.
Yes, he can.
He can do that, and it's all something that, like you said, these conversations we have to have. We have to be able to speak on these things. We have to be able to talk about them. It takes a lot of people to be able to stand up and say, hey, listen, I've been through it. I've been there, and my God is able to take us out of it. He's able to heal and to restore in these. So
that's another reason why we're big on talking to people. Talk to people.
Yep.
Really dig. Don't just do, hey, how's the weather? I'm talking, have fruitful conversations with people, and you will learn so much. You will learn so much. The amount of wisdom that you gain from just having a good, hearty conversation, it will blow your mind.
Yep.
I think that's another thing that the generations after us lack. Even our generation, a good conversation. We lack social skills. We want to be isolated, and that's from the enemy. I don't believe in isolation. I really don't. And I don't believe God wants any of us isolated.
Yep.
We are here to fellowship. We are here to have a relationship with him and his people.
Yep.
We are here to grow and spread the gospel. You can't spread the gospel in isolation.
Yep.
It's a lie.
Yep.
You cannot do it.
Yeah.
So it's just, we can go on for days. We can go on for days, guys.
Yeah.
Our kids looked at us. They're like, "Oh no, they're talking about the Lord. They're talking about church.
Yeah.
We got to get out of here."
Yeah. And Michelle, it's important to understand. Yes, you have a lot more to teach, but I think even through your teaching, you're getting healing through your teaching, because a lot of healing comes through us talking it out. Yeah. So a lot of it comes through talking. That's something I learned a lot through counseling and trauma issues. Is a lot comes through talking. You heal by talking. You heal by being able to teach it and allowing your pain to be expressed in that way. So it's important for you to be able to teach, and through that you've been healed. Through that you're going to continue to be healed. And I really believe that God is working through you in that, and your healing will come in a time. Yes.
Can we go in the pool at night?
No, baby.
But no, it's not tonight, okay?
Can you go ask them if their wet clothes are in the washer? If not, they need to put those in the washer so we can wash them.
Yep. Your swimming clothes.
That's what Nelly and Lila are doing.
Oh, that they're doing that already?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
They're putting it in the dryer. Wash it in the
Yeah, exactly. And the same thing.
You can get PTSD anytime.
Yeah.
You can have trauma from anything.
Yeah.
There are children full of trauma.
Yeah.
Texting. You can't see expression. It's so hard.
Exactly.
And you know what makes it even harder, Kiana, is we're in a generation of texting because we're always busy.
Yep.
And we have to learn that we cannot always be busy. And I'm preaching to myself. We have got to make time to talk. We've got to make time to not be busy all the time.
Yep. We do.
We have to, because texting is just convenient.
It is.
It's convenient, and it's a cop-out. I'm talking to myself. It's a cop-out.
Yeah, it's easy for us to fall into that.
Mm-hmm.
It really is. And that's why, like we've been saying, it's important to talk it out. It's important to have those hard and tough conversations.
It is.
At the end of the day, I mean, y'all would have never known that about me. Y'all would have never brought it up if we didn't talk about it. And you would have, like I say, if you meet me today, and just from hearing me talk and stuff, if you truly meet, you would have never guessed that I struggled so badly with things that I struggled with.
Aw,
thank
we
you
love
so
you.
much.
God bless you.
God is really working through each and every one of us. We all have a testimony. We all have a past.
Girl, text her aunt. I had to quickly cut that off.
Tablet for it. Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
man.
We have again.
Been there.
Yes.
We've been there. I made the mistake 1 year of deciding, you know what? It's on my phone. Let me give her Facebook Messenger, the kids' Messenger, see what it's about. 3 days. Wasn't it like 3 days?
Yep.
It lasted 3 days. I was like, absolutely not, never again. I'm sorry. We're done with Kids Messenger. Go play. It was too much. It was too much. She was sitting there waiting on responses. I was like, if you want to talk to this day, if you want to talk to grandma, if you want to talk to grandpa, we'll call them. Let's call them on the phone. Let's FaceTime. We're not doing the text messaging thing. We're not doing that stuff. I'm not putting my kids in that. I already have a problem with that. All the time. Yeah, we are wordy. Those conversations be long. I was on the phone with my friend today, Kim. I was on the phone with Kim today, an hour and a half.
You ever read the book Garden City by
Pastor John Mark? No, I haven't.
Mm-mm.
We need to look into that.
No. Texting doesn't cut it.
Texting, it's hard because you can't see the expressions.
Yep.
You can't see the intent.
Yep.
You can't feel the love.
Yep.
It's words. It is. This is my problem. Like when I text, I have to put some type of emoji or like something so that people can know that I'm happy and I'm saying it in love and I'm not saying anything harshly because it's terrible.
It is. I'm the worst. My wife tells me all the time I text differently than I talk.
He does.
And
he's very like business type texting. I don't know how that is, but his personality does not come forward on text message.
Not at all. And the issue with it is because I have time to think. So when I'm texting, I can really think and process things. So I'm able to make it more business and sound better. But for me, it's when I'm talking, I talk how I talk. So it just comes out the way how I feel at the time.
Thank you guys for communicating with each other on the chat. That really helps, and I'm thankful because it's not just about us. It's about all of you.
It's about the community.
I want you guys to be able to talk to each other and subscribe to each other's channels and get to know each other too. This, like he said, this is a community. This isn't just the Nathan and Carmen show. This this is a community. Although we have been on for 106 minutes.
Yep.
So we may have to go ahead and get off.
Yep.
We appreciate you guys so much.
Yes, thank y'all so much.
We're thankful for you.
And I just want to let you know, I think this is the most people we've ever had on a live.
This is the most. Yeah, I know. I was so excited. At one point, it was like 22 or something.
Yep.
We were so excited. I'm thankful for you guys. Send before I'm done with it.
Yeah. And also, guys, I also want to say thank y'all for the watch time that y'all have given us. We're actually very, very close to reaching our...
If we do not hit monetization, 4,000 watch hours by tomorrow, I'll be shocked.
Yeah.
We are so thankful for you guys.
Yes.
We've been waiting for this time. I'm pretty sure that this video has gotten us to monetization. That wasn't the point of the video, but we had like, I don't know, 30 more hours or 20 more. I don't know how much we had. Yeah. But with the video we just put out, I don't know. I'm super excited. And I'm thankful. If not tomorrow, it'll be the next day.
Yeah. And we may start making Tuesday nights our live time. I mean,
I like Tuesday nights.
It seems to work for us and y'all as well. So, and we'll get more, we'll get into whatever conversations y'all are willing to talk with. We're very open about what we believe. We're very open about where we come from and the things we've been through. And we want to be here to help others, like Michelle. I'm hoping I'm saying your name right. I think it is Michelle. If I can help you in any way through that, I want to be that. I want to help you in the process of healing.
If you need prayer or something, or you want to, we have a prayer board at our church.
Yep.
We're like vintage. We
Yep.
have like a whole dry erase board, huge thing in our sanctuary.
Yep.
And we will write your name on there.
Yes, we will.
And we will have people pray for you.
Yep.
So email us.
Yep.
Send us an email. Our email is on the description thing of our YouTube, our main page.
Yep.
Email us, send us your prayer requests, and we will do that. We will pray for you. We will have other people pray for you.
Yes.
I believe in prayer. He believes in prayer.
Oh, I have to suffer with what I have for a long time. Explain later.
Yeah. We'll be praying for you too.
Yeah, we're going to be praying for all of you. Again, thank y'all so much for jumping on here and being with us this evening. We love each and every one of you. And like I said, maybe
Me too.
next Tuesday we'll hump back on here and talk to y'all a little bit more. Y'all have a great evening. God bless y'all, and we'll see y'all next time.
Bye.